Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Mondays with Max. How are you guys all doing tonight? It has been a long day, very long day. I was up at 3:30 this morning. My team lead did not come in. So we'll see how long I last on this one. Anyway, all right, before we get into some subjects, let's do a roll call. Chum Change, I believe, is first. He's first. He shows he's first. Patrick Guyan says third, unless somebody got cut off at the top. Not sure. Canadian Miner, thank you for being here. Second, TL Mining. Hobbyist Miner, no, sorry, sir. You are not first. Geek of All Trades, sorry I'm late. Yeah. Technical difficulties, talking to family, going down the rabbit hole on a few things. But anyway, hopefully, I'm glad you're here, Geek of All Trades. Hoping you can help me with something. Anyway, let's see. All Set Miner, Bacon, Eggs, and Hash. Steven Cicero, Retro Mike Tech. I still have trouble saying that. Bacon, Eggs, Hash, I think I already said. Sadie sometimes. Let's see here. Who else? Network Bits, Crypto. Good to see you, sir. It's time to rage. Actually, I'm trying to. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. I feel like it's a combination of spring and the bear market. Everybody's just really uptight. Everybody calm the fuck down. Anyway, let's see, who else do we have here? Of course, Sunflower Mama is here. Yeah, it just jumped on me. I hate when it does that. Paul D, good to see you, sir. Cheerish, Integra guy. Wow, it really jumped. Crypto Tito, Crypto Crag. Yeah, let's see if I missed anybody else. K Trim, D Miners, good to see you, sir. Nasity, the Maker's Dimension. I see I'm going up. It's like totally jumped on me. The Hobbyist Miner, 2 minutes. I came for max voltage, but I'm staying for Sunflower Mama. Well, who am I to kid? She's the star of the show. What are you talking about? Have you guys ever watched Tech Linked from Linus Media Group? If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's really good. And the highlight is all of the comments that are made off screen. Those are the punchlines. You got to be paying attention because they're kind of quiet. That's Sunflower Mama. So who am I kidding? She is the entertainment here, not me. Anyway, all right. So now I'm getting back where I was. All right, now let me scroll back down, see who I may have missed. Sloth Squatch. I don't think I caught you. Burn. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for being here. Ray is mining. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Dakota Miner. DJ Mines. None other than. Good to see you. Trillion Capital Toronto Corporation. I think I'm just going to call you Pat. I think that's just a lot easier. Good to see you, Pat, and thank you for being a member. Appreciate that. Jumped on me again. Paduac Miner. And if I missed anybody, Galaxy 9 Synthesis. 619 OTA. Not James. Mindsum 10. Good to see you, sir. You've been a wonderful addition to the YouTube community. You put out some really great stuff. Let's see. Who else do we have here? I think I got Joe Spindler. And New England Crypto Mining makes it just under the wire. So good to see you all. Appreciate you guys all being here. Alrighty. Yeah, I've been I don't know, just distracted. This whole weekend was like work, sleep, live stream, game, sleep, work a little bit, kind of just try to have one day kind of off, turn the mind off a little bit on Sunday, and then get a decent amount of sleep and wake up at 3:30 in the morning and put in a 12-hour day, actually a little over a 12-hour day. So at any rate, so I didn't have as much time to kind of prepare for this, but there's been some things that I thought were kind of interesting. So obviously everybody's talking about Ledger. And I know we didn't talk about it on Saturday Night Live, but I am of the opinion that think about every time there is a controversial feature. Think about Windows. Just think about Windows. Windows 8 came out and everybody's like, what the heck did they do to the operating system? The whole interface is all messed up. There was always a way to go back to Windows 7, but everybody was up in arms about Windows 8 and the way it looked and what are they doing to this thing? They're gamifying it or whatever. Point being was a lot of people overreacted. It's one thing to have feedback, and I think Ledger has heard the feedback loud and clear. But the bottom line is, it is their product. And if they choose to make a change to their product for what they feel is the betterment of their customers, they're going to go ahead and do that. Not everybody is going to agree. That's definitely the case. That's the case with a lot of things. People make changes or companies make changes to products. And a lot of times they'll go on to be more successful because they made the changes, but they may lose the people that they started out with that weren't looking for that type of product. The product may have evolved into something a little bit different. So point being is, yeah, okay. If you don't like Ledger, then just switch to a different hardware wallet. It's not like there's not something else to use out there. It's not like the Ledger's the end all be all of hardware wallets. Now it's kind of frustrating because you already have an investment in the Ledger wallet and you're like, great, now I got to go out and buy another one. Yeah, but think about it. When your cell phone dies after 3 years because the technology isn't as good anymore, do you complain about having to go? Oh, okay. Did you put it up on the screen? I did not. Okay. Go ahead and put it up on the screen. It's just a matter of, yes, things change. Chum change. It is the big picture. Okay. I know what you're saying, that you believe in the conspiracy theory that it is a conspiracy. Some conspiracy theories come true. Okay. So I'm not saying it as a negative. I'm saying that it is a conspiracy theory because it hasn't come to fruition yet. You're thinking ahead of what could happen. It hasn't happened yet. Therefore, conspiracy theory. Okay. So it could happen. And if you think it's going to happen, then, and you're one of the, obviously I know you're one of the people out there. If you think it's going to happen, then switch to a different hardware wallet. It's that simple. It's that simple. Ledger is in business to make money. That's what they're in it for. They're not in it to screw their customers and abide by what the government says. That's not what they're in for. They're in to make money. And if they feel like they're going to make money by making this change, they will do that. Jump Change says it's proven. It's not a conspiracy theory straight from the horse's mouth. If they get subpoenaed for your funds, they would hand over your keys. That is from an ex-CEO. Okay. It's not from a current person at the company. And unless I hear that from a lawyer, an actual lawyer, not somebody who might have an axe to grind with the company. So anyway, point being is, like I said, if you believe that that's what's going to happen, then go get a different hardware wallet. It's as simple as that. And guess what? If enough people walk away from Ledger, they might undo the feature. I mean, this is not the first product that has created a controversial feature that has caused some people to walk away from the product. It's not the first one. So yes, I know this strikes a chord because of our belief in crypto, but I started really thinking about this and going, we're in a commercial space. This company is in commercial space. They are making a product that serves a need. And exactly what you've heard other people say, they believe that they will expand more use of their hardware wallet if they have a recovery feature, a backup, a backdoor of some sort. This is going to be a valuable feature for some people. You can agree or disagree with that. They've obviously done their market research, and their market research says that this will help them make more money. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. Don't tell me you can take my keys out. I understand. So go use a different hardware wallet that doesn't have that feature. it's that, like I said, it's literally that simple. Walk with your money. Pull your money out of the ledger and use a different wallet. And I'm sure you probably already have done this. But again, my point is that you can throw your arms up and down as much as you want, but Ledger thought this out and made the decision that they will attract more people to their hardware wallet than they will push away. Now, could they be wrong? Absolutely, they could be wrong. They might lose market share by doing this. That's definitely possible. But again, they're running a business. That is not what they think is going to happen. That is why they're doing what they're doing. So anyway, that is my 2 cents. I feel like everybody just needs to calm down. If you don't like it, then don't use it. Literally don't use it. There are people, I mean, think about, there have been hardcore, hell, there's been people in our community that have lost their hardware wallets. So lost lots of hard-earned crypto that they cannot recover. So is it more valuable to have a recovery feature so that you don't lose any of your crypto if you make a mistake? Or is it more valuable to, and interestingly enough, so I actually, by the way, thank you, Chump Change. I actually went and wrote down everything as far as how to get into wallets and like that, printed it out. It is now in a safe at an offsite location. So I'm not going to go into where it is, but anyway, bottom line is it is somewhere else. My family knows where it is. So if I were to meet my maker, they know where the information is. So now with that said, my family's like, well, how hard is it to get in your computer? Because I've started using a lot more security on my computer. And they're like, well, if your computer's like Fort Knox, what are we supposed, like, hang on, all of that is in there. They're like, well, how are we going to get into your Google Authenticator and all this? I'm like, it's all in there. It's all in there. Don't fret. But they were more worried about the fact that there was too much security that they wouldn't be able to gain access to the funds if I were to pass away. So there is people on both sides that say, is extreme security too much? Is it too hard if something were to happen to you? Or, you have a hardware wallet that you stick in a safe, but it gets taken away by a tornado and you can't find the safe. I mean, we're talking about extreme examples, but I guarantee you somebody's got a story for every single one of those. Is there anybody in Oklahoma that's been, or for that matter, in this time has been moving further east, anybody who's in Arkansas or, East Texas that has had their house obliterated and can't find their hardware wallet? So as much as we say that we want to be as secure as possible, there is always the possibility that we can lose our crypto one way or another. So that's my 2 cents. You can never be 100% secure. There's always going to be a vulnerability one way or the other. It's just a matter of which vulnerability are you more comfortable with. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. And that's the end of it. At least for me. So I just see Pat's question. What are your thoughts on the Arculus wallet? I'll be honest. I've been trying to figure out which hardware wallet I was going to use. I do not use a hardware wallet. So I realized that I want to get to using a hardware wallet. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't decided which one. I would like one that actually interfaces with Zelcore. Obviously, Ledger's one of those. The other one is, why am I drawing a blank? It starts with a T. Anyway, I am thinking about using that one possibly, but I really need to kind of do a deep dive into the different hardware wallets. I probably actually, I guess Chris Bagnell has reviewed quite a few hardware wallets. So I'll probably look at his channel and take a look to see what's out there. I know obviously Chump Change has reviewed a few and others have as well in the community, but yeah, I'm kind of deciding, and it's always kind of a happy medium. Is it's like, okay, so this one I like, I love the features about it, but does it have all the crypto coins that I currently have and use? Obviously, the one key one that is not in, I don't think in any hardware wallet is Flux. So obviously nothing we can really do there, but a lot of the main coins obviously would be in all of the hardware wallets, but is like Ergo or Caspa in hardware wallets, other things that we have mined. Anyway, so, but thanks for asking that question, Pat. Appreciate it. All right, let me go back up on the comments. Give me your seed phrase. Dakota Miner, I'll have to take a hard pass on that. But thanks for asking. Anyway, Steven Cicero, how do we know other wallets don't have backdoors in? Well, that's the thing. You don't. You flat out don't. Very good point, Steven Cicero. Very good point. And here's the thing. Ledger, like 2 or 3 years ago, was hacked and had stole people's personal information. Now, they didn't steal crypto funds, but they still got hacked. So I kind of made me kind of think about not going with Ledger in the first place. That's just my 2 cents on that as well. So let's see if I missed any other comments that were tagged me. You asked me about that, about the Arculus wallet. I'm not sure what you're, I'm kind of out of sync. Oh, 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah, definitely 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah, I shaved on Thursday, I think. Typically what I do is I shave on Saturday and then I shave the following Saturday. I shave like once a week. Just kind of my thing. But probably will shave either tomorrow or Wednesday. Just because once it gets too long, it's kind of Yes, I did get my Dimo payments today. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what, you know what, I'll pull that up. I'll find out what the Dimo translation is, because I currently have, I was just looking at that actually. I currently have, where is it? Oh, market. There we go. 549 Dimo, and that's 2 payments. So, yeah, 549 Demo is what I currently have after 2 payments. And what is Demo at? Price of Demo. Market cap. Let me add this to the scene. So we're at 0.1658, up 2%. Better than down 2%, that's for sure. And then if I use my handy dandy Windows calculator, 0.1657, since it just went down a hair, times 549. So I got about $45 or so today, something like that, for 2. Because that's $90 is what it's worth after 2 weeks. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's that pretty much matches. I said I got about $22 the first week, so this is pretty much about the same. So yeah, I mean, $22 and you pay $349. And by the way, the payments in Demo actually go up after a bit. Actually, DJ Mines, last live stream I watched with him, he talked about that with Demo. And the fact that it continues, as long as you continue to start your car and drive a little bit each week with your car, it will qualify for that week. So as long as you continue to qualify every week and you put that streak together, you will continue to earn and increase your earnings as you go. So, oh, both level 1. Okay, got it. Oh yes, mine are both level 1. Like I said, I'm in week 2. So yes, they're definitely both level 1. Like I said, if they stayed even at this, I mean, let's say $22 every week. $22, 22 times 56. That's $1,200 in a year. per unit. Sorry, 52. Sorry. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. 50. Hey, I really just want 13 months in the year. So I was just trying to create that. So sue me. 52 times 22. $1,144 a year. That's like, it triples itself in a year. Divided by 3. Actually more than triples itself, because it costs $369, but there's 10% off out there. I don't think I even have a referral code. I need to get a referral code for that. But anyway, not the point. But yes, I love my Dimos. Very happy with that. Got my Hivemapper last week. That was about the same. For the Hivemapper, about $22, I think, is what it ended up coming out to be. Got a good payout that week for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why it was better last week. I didn't feel like I drove as much, but anyway, definitely happy about that. All right, let me scroll back down to the bottom. Let me see. Did that. Okay. Matt K says, really liking my Tangem wallet. The device is a point of failure that I'm not all that comfortable with. I like that there's no device to fail. Tangem, one of those ones that's like a credit card type of thing. I'm trying to remember that one. I know a couple, I've heard of it. So DJ Mine says, once the bull run comes, I think Dimo will 3 to 5 times since it's on Coinbase. Possibly. But typically we see the big bump when they get onto Coinbase. Now it certainly helps that they're on Coinbase. It makes them have more liquidity. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm definitely happy with it. No question. And there's always the strategy that you took, which is see if you can find other cars to put it in and take your earnings and put it towards buying more Dimos. All right. Let me see. What else did I have to talk about tonight? I don't see any other points where I am tagged. Updating my Hivemapper. So I saw Geek of All Trades yesterday show his the update to the Hivemapper, the beta, and I was very intrigued. The thing that most intrigued me was the fact that, you know, my logo is blue and they have blue lights. No, that's really not the reason. The reason why is because I'm red-green colorblind, and it can be a little difficult to tell when the red lights turn to green lights. I mean, I can tell, but it's not the easiest thing. It's not super obvious to me. I have to kind of look over at the light and get a straight on view to make sure the hue is just changed just a little bit, and then I can tell. So the new one has, I guess they don't light up until they actually like sync up, and then they're all blue. So definitely liked it for that reason. Obviously I liked it for all the other reasons that he liked it as well. But here's the thing. I can't get the darn thing to download onto my phone. It says to make sure that you allow like external apps or something like that. But so you go into securities, or you go into settings, then you go to security, and then you say, where is it? Where is it? No, it's in apps. Sorry. Go into apps, and then you go into special app access, and then you go install unknown apps. And I've got Chrome and Gmail allowed. So why isn't it allowing it when I say install? Yeah, do you have any idea? How did you get it to actually install on your phone? Because when I finally did like get it to install, it kept saying that maybe I stopped the app. I thought I had like exited out of the app. Yes, I do have Crankk as well. And that's been doing well for me. I haven't checked it actually in the last couple days. I know that's what I was trying to do. I was installing the new app. Yes, you asked the question. Yes, install the new app on the phone. And I am not iPhone. Do I look like an iPhone guy? Jeez, don't insult me like that. Vortech, yeah, you still got to circle back with Joe on that. Yes, thank you, Retro Mike Tech. Yes, I have a real phone, and it is not a Samsung. So, because Google, Motorola are my favorite because they're pure Android. Yeah, like why fix something that already works really, really well? All the stuff they put on the front, like with Samsung, they kind of keep getting closer and closer to like raw Android, which is, I think, the best. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. And if anybody mentions green text, you will be banned, or at least timed out for 30 seconds or for 300 seconds. Did somebody say something about green text? Yeah, green bubbles. If I find you, you are now timed out for. Yeah, but if anybody comments on freaking green bubbles, I'm going to put you in timeout. Just telling you. Anyway. I did not get the app tester app from the Discord. What? No, they sent me an email. And it was like, I'm talking to Alan of Hivemapper. I'm talking directly to him. I know that's where I got it originally, you know, all that. And he responded after I reached out to him. And he says, you're going to be expecting to get this email. Anyway. So, yeah. Anyway. LOL, self-banned. Yeah, you know what, maybe we can talk after the stream. All right. Yes, and there should be 2 downloads in that email. Really? Hold on. Maybe that's the problem. I'm like going into where it says get something and I'm not actually clicking on the item. Let me see. Yeah, there's a link, get started, but there is no attachment. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. You know, it comes with how to start testing and it gives instructions on how to start testing. So it says using your Google account, accept the Hivemapper invitation. And I click get started. I'm in my email. I'm in my Google account. Oh. Yeah, but I think I know what it is because maybe. Sorry. Always hate that when you hear like loud noises from upstairs. And I didn't hear an I'm okay. She okay? Okay, she's okay. Everybody, she's okay. But yes, I don't know what she did upstairs, but she seemed to have fallen. Anyway, but I think maybe I need to forward that to my other email address that I use for my phone and then maybe try doing it from there. But anyway, let's talk later because we're boring everybody else to death in this point. But I am looking forward to using that app because the other thing I really liked was the fact that you said the new one actually syncs to GPS a lot faster. And when I'm trying to get home from work or trying to get to work or trying to get to lunch in the middle of the day, the last thing I want to do is sit around for 5 minutes waiting for that darn thing to sync. I just want to get it to sync and go. So anyway, but I am looking forward to that. So he just actually sent me that tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. Talked about Dimo. I'm happy about that. Crankk. That was the other thing you guys just brought up. Let me. Yeah, I don't want to be sharing when I do this. So, that's the wrong thing. That's what I wanted. No, that isn't what I wanted. Crankk is on a different window. And okay, I know which one it's on. It's on this one. There it is. What I want to see actually is whether or not it is continuing to see, like one of them was seeing the other one and the other one wasn't seeing the other one. So like one would witness the other one would not witness that other one. So this one is witnessing each time, which is good. Now let me go to the other one and see if it changed at all. No, they're totally different. So your Dimo actually runs in your OBD2, and your Hivemapper is just a completely external device that does not interface directly with the car. It only interacts with your phone. So completely two different applications, although they both have GPS. But oh, the one thing I really love about Dimo is that Dimo gives you the ability. I'm about ready to talk about Crankk, but I got distracted by the question about Dimo. The thing I like about Dimo that Hivemapper I wish did is Dimo, you are allowed to set a 12 hex region where you are not tracked. So obviously most people are going to set it around their house. They don't want people to be able to track them to their exactly to their house. But I wish Hivemapper would actually do that in the Explorer as well, where they can get the data and all that, just don't show where somebody has gone, if somebody's gone somewhere. But anyway, my 2 cents, and that'd be a really nice feature. I really like that about Dimo. All right, let me check the other gateway and see if this one is now. Yeah, see, this one is not receiving almost anything from the other one. And that is so odd. So the one with the really big antenna, it almost seems like it's overshooting it or something. The one with the really big antenna is not receiving from the one from the little itty bitty antenna, but that little itty bitty antenna should be sending out a very broad signal. Huh. Maybe I need to look to make sure that the antenna isn't tilted. Because if it is, it could be overshooting one direction and undershooting another direction. Yeah, I should probably check that and make sure that that's not the issue. But yeah, it's rarely, if ever, receiving the other unit. Now it started receiving it. Yeah. Anyway, alrighty. Well, that's what's going on with Crankk. Like I said, I'm just letting it run. I'm not paying that much attention to it. Network Mix says, look at the radio logs on the local IP address. I will take a look at that later. But okay, I will check that out. Geek of all trades saying, are you saying that size really doesn't matter? Size matters, but bigger is not always better. That's what I'm saying. Especially if you have two units that are close to one another, and you have one with a really, really big antenna and the other one with a really small antenna, not really going to matter. The one with the small antenna is going to have a more rounded signal, while the one with the higher decibel is going to have a more narrow beam, but have more gain to go out further. So, but yeah, it shouldn't be the problem with it being that close. So I'll take a look. I will take a look. Atomic Star says, I dropped my book in my phone, so it sounded a lot worse than it actually was. Oh, okay. Well, good. Yeah, it sounded like she fell out of bed. That's what it sounded like. Anyway, Geek of all trades. I've been lied to. Well, don't know what to tell you. Anyway, alrighty. Well, that's what's going on with Hivemapper. A couple other things. So my light setup's pretty decent. Don't really have anything too much to worry about. But my son, he is going to be his live streams, and he wanted a better light setup than what he had, which was basically nothing. So I bought him 2 GL1 Neewer lights, which are 2800 lumen lights for like being like right here. He had them at 1% because they're so stinking bright. Didn't make a lot of sense. So, but he's like, okay, they would work. They would still work. The problem was that he couldn't get the 2 colors to sync on the 2. They'd be on the same setting and they were very far off. So Neewer was nice enough. We're getting them sent back and we're going to get a full refund. I mean, we got these for Christmas and they're still like, yeah, no problem. So Neewer, I give them a lot of credit for their customer service. So I really appreciate that. And they were like willing, like, well, if you want to keep one, pick the one you like the way it works better and send the other one back. We could do that. But I had mentioned that he wanted to have 2 lights that operated the same with the same colors and all that kind of stuff. So they're like, yeah, I'm sure they kind of knew they had not the amount of consistency that they would like in those lights. So to try to just replace one versus the other, they would have been willing to replace them, but I think they knew that they didn't have the consistency. So if you have 1 light, it worked really, really well. If you were going to use 2 lights, not so good because you couldn't get them to get the same color. So anyway, with all that said, I had been looking at the Elgato lights, and they got some pretty nice lights. Now, something with my son in that by the way, he was the one that found this. He wanted to make sure that he got credit for this. I was looking at some of the other ones. I was looking at the Elgato Keylight and Elgato Keylight Air. And then he found the Elgato Keylight Mini. And in fact, I will put a link to this in the chat if you are interested. And Brian Hollywood coming in with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. New razor fund, hide the gray. Well, that's why I don't grow a beard, like a full-on beard, because it is so gray right around the chin. And yeah, so I know the hair is good. It's not super. It has some gray in it, but not much. But the beard, yeah, that definitely has plenty of gray. That shows the age. But anyway, I looked at this. It was 20% off. It was $80, and it's an 800 lumen light. It's edge lit, so it's like a soft light, kind of almost like a soft box in a way, but in a much more convenient package. Now, the one drawback of this is it doesn't come with a stand, so you're going to have to add somewhere in the range of $20 to $30 in order to get like a desk mount stand for this. I mean, I suppose there's some that are probably cheaper than that, but I did a brief look and they're $20 to $30. So you're going to be looking at $100, $110 for each light. Then the Elgato Keylight Air, which is about 1400 lumens, that one's like 119, I think is what you can get it for. And that one comes with like desk, like where they sit on a stand. They're not desk mounts. They're just sit on a stand. So that's pretty nice, but not as configurable as having them be mounted to your desk, in my opinion. And that one you had to go all the way up to the Keylight, which was like $139 right now. And that one was a lot. I forget what the actual light output of that one is, but it's more than 1400. So anyway, bottom line is they've got a good lineup. I really like their controls. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know I'm thinking about at least getting one to replace the light that's to the right of me. It's a decent light, but basically it's just a light bulb. That's all it is. It's like your standard old timey desk lamp. What was that? Like the Pixar lamp. Yeah, like the Pixar lamp. It's basically that. So it's not bad. but I was kind of, that'd be nice to have a little bit nicer setup. The softbox, that's the other thing. It's good, but it takes up so much space. I could be able to move my desk closer to the side of the room. Basically, there's about a foot to the left of me before I get to the wall. I would like to be able to move over, but I have the stand for the softbox in the corner. So yeah, it's not ideal. It'd be nice if it was a nicer setup. So I don't know. I'm debating whether to get this, but don't really want to spend the money at this point. But anyway, I wanted to, if anybody was looking at it, I know we have a lot of new YouTubers in the space. I thought I would mention it because I think these would be a great option. Anyway, like I said, I've been distracted, been going down the rabbit hole. This was one of the things within the last 2 hours before I started my stream. I was going down this rabbit hole. And actually, why am I in this one? This isn't where I want it to be. That's the wrong window. I mean, that's the right screen, but the wrong window. It's almost like, there we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, it's this one. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I had the right window because that other one had a lot more stuff in the window. But anyway. And then the other, so there's a couple really cool features with this. One is it's magnetic. So if you wanted to stick it on something magnetic and stick it to the wall, you could do that and just have that be where you mount your key light. It has a 5,000 amp hour milliamp hour battery on it, so it will last about 4 hours at 50%. So 400 lumens for 4 hours. That's pretty darn good. You can, I believe that Corsair or Elgato has a like a cold shoe, so you can put it actually on your camera. That's pretty cool. So if you wanted to vlog with a light, it can go on your camera. Anyway, it's very versatile. I just thought it was so cool. So so Hobbyist Miner says, I have the Elgato key light with the stand, works amazing, well worth it. Yeah, that, like I said, that was the one. Like I said, the key light Air, and then this key light mini. I really kind of want to see, I want to look at some reviews and things like that. I want to see how, like, a comparison. I wish somebody could like show the difference in if you had two lights of the same kind, you know, key light Air and key light mini, like what the difference of the look would be, or would there be any difference at all? Because you're already so close. So, yeah, I guess I could do that. My Sunflower Mama has all the best ideas. I could actually buy all three, set them up, and return them, because Amazon has a 1-month return feature. So maybe I will do that. If there's any interest in that, please let me know. Especially if you're watching this afterwards, put it in the comments. I would appreciate that. So anyway, that is one deep dive I did. And then, of course, then I was looking at, so whenever I look at something and I find a good product, I'm like, okay, is there a cheaper option? And whenever I think of like photography type stuff for streaming, I think of Ulanzi, because Ulanzi has a lot of good stuff. Like on this camera, I have a wider angle on this camera, the ZV1, so that if I want to vlog with it at arm's length, it gets a broader view. So it works really well. Love the lens. And anyway, so that works really well. So that's kind of what my first introduction to Ulanzi. So then I looked to see what kind of lights they had. I didn't like them as much because they weren't as adjustable. They like had 3 color options instead of like infinite, or at least 12, which is what the Elgato has. So yeah, I like to have want to make sure that I have just the right color, which is kind of weird because this color and that color aren't the same. So anyway, alrighty. So then I looked at, okay, well, fine, it doesn't come with a stand. And then I started looking at Ulanzi, and I did like their stand, but again, it's like $27. So it seems a little expensive for a stand, but it does extend pretty darn high, almost 3 feet. So that's pretty high for an extension. So that's one great feature of it as well. So anyway, kind of debating. And the other nice thing about this one is there's a lot of other attachments you can use with it. So I could have an overhead camera attachment that I could attach to that same item. So like right now, I have an overhead camera with my webcam that I use, but it's just sitting on the top monitor. So it's not ideal. It'd be better if I could bring it out directly over the work area as opposed to kind of being at an angle. So not ideal, but it works. And I don't use it that much for that reason, but when I do, it would be nice to have that option. And who knows, if I ever decide to do more content, I might want to use that. Anyway, that's what's going on with that. Let's see. Oh, that was that, and then the Dimo price. Okay, just wanted to see what other windows I had up there. All right, let me remove that from scene. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention tonight. So I should have done a short on this, but you guys have heard me mention my chair from Crandall Office Furniture. And yes, I have an affiliate code and all that, but here's the thing. When I approach them to say, hey, I'm going to do a video, I'm going to talk about this, and here's the reason why, my hip, I need this chair, and I'm going to do a custom chair because that's what I really want, and I want this thing to last a really long time. I went to them, they're like, okay, we can do 15% off. I was like, okay, that's good. They pretty much, the best I had seen prior to that was 10%, and they were giving me an extra 5% off. I'm like, awesome. So when I saw the fact that they have a standard discount right now, 15%, means that they could have done that all along. Anyway, so right now, and unfortunately ends tonight. So I'm sure there are a lot of you wish you had more time. If you were going to consider this, you wish you had more time to consider it. But they have a 15% off that does expire tonight. It's on their website. I'll give you my affiliate code. Use it, don't use it. It's fine either way. In fact, let me go up here and I will copy the link and paste it over here. Oh, well, that didn't work. This mount, you mean? Like the light mount? That mount is sick. Always wanted to nab it, but was sold out. Have a link. Yeah, I can give you a link. Give me a second. Oh, Crypto Craig, 1, 2, 3, 4. Love it. Mount fun. He needs mounts. Hold on a second. And Retro Mike says, non-member Craig coming through. It's just not fair that you can't just all right, there it is. Text. All right, here's the mount. Hey, is it not taking it? It's too stinking long. Why is it giving me a long string? Oh, there it is. Here we go. There's the mount. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. But anyway, going back to Crandall Office Furniture. So let me do this. As you can tell, I wasn't that prepared. But I will get out of the way here in a second and I will show you the okay. Office Furniture. I think it will remember my login. No, it's not going to. Really? You're really going to do that? Okay. Well, let me go to a different screen and where it will remember me. Log in. There you go. Okay. That only thing that the website is that always pops up with the my account. Wow. I guess I'm just simply not prepared. So just go to the website. But anyway, it is 15% off anniversary flash sale. Use code 21 years. That is the code to use. But I cannot tell you how much I love this chair. And not just because it's custom, but because it is so comfortable. It is unbelievably comfortable. It is a Steelcase Leap V2 version 2. It's a very well-known chair. This is a remanufactured one. They basically, and there's a whole video on the process that they go through. They put a new cushion on the seat. They replace all of the fabric. They put new arms on it. It's just that the bones of it, and it's got a new shock. Yeah, it's a new shock as well. So basically, it's just the bones of the chair and the feet, shall we say. The wheels are new, but they're able to do it basically for half the price of a new chair, even though it feels just like a new chair. I don't even care if there's a scratch in the back or something. I don't care. I never look at the back of the chair, but it looked brand new. Easy to put together. Yes, it was like $600. They're expensive, but the new one is like $1,200. And I've tried a lot of chairs, and this one is very configurable. I mean, it's an ergonomic chair. Anyway, go look. There's tons of reviews of Steelcase V2 chairs. I actually have a Steelcase EMEA chair at work that is very similar to this chair. I just thought if I'm at home, I kind of want a little bit more stylish of a chair. The EMEA is not, in my opinion, not quite as stylish, but extremely functional. And it has really helped me with my hip problems because it's a proper seated chair. And the big thing for me is having a waterfall edge to the front of it. So anyway, all right, enough about the chair. But if you are interested in getting one, cannot recommend them enough. I love the fact that it's a custom chair. You think about gaming chairs and things like that. Well, I just love this thing. And it was so easy to do. It's like $30 extra to get a fully custom chair. And what I told them was, well, you saw it, was I want the logo and I want flannel. And they came back with a, like, not just like a straight checkerboard plaid. It was like more of a thin, it had a more complex pattern to it. I'm like, no. I want it to be like this. And I showed him one of my shirts. He's like, except I want this one to be blue. I think I showed him the purple flannel shirt that I'm sure you guys have seen me wear many times. And I said, but I want it to be like dark blue, like my logo, and black. And they're like, okay. And then they showed it to me and I was like, yes, love this thing. So yes, it was expensive, but well worth the money. If you need a chair, I'm telling you, spend a little. Think about the Secret Labs chairs. They're great chairs. I'm not saying they're not. These are better. That's it. That's my opinion. Anyway, alrighty. What's the promo going again? It's on the website. It's 21 years. That is the code to use. I'm going to see if I can try it again, see if I can find the actual like link you can use, and then you can use that code to get the 15% off. In my email. And not that email. Let me go into the other email. It's bugging me that I don't have it, because I do have it. It's just that it won't fit because I'm copying it out of, it's actually in the description. The link is in the description. I just wanted to put it in the actual chat so people had it. Let's see. Office is, oh no, that's as we were going back and forth on it, because okay. Seriously. Let's try it this way. That's that. Is that one it? Okay, here we go. God, this has been a long way to get there. And affiliate URLs. You can tell I come here a lot. I barely ever go into this site. And finally, I have it to finally put into the chat. Of course, now I got to find the window again. That's right, because I was using the same window. That's why I couldn't find it. Anyway, and here we go. Finally, the long lost affiliate code. By the way, if you could hear how much Sunflower Mama is sighing, so trust me, she just did as much sighing for the rest of you. Okay, it was like the extreme sigh. She's like, "Oh my God, thank God you finally found it." Anyway, so that 21 years ends tonight. If you are interested, there you go. All right, I'll stop talking about the chair. I love my chair. And DJ Minds, you need to buy a chair because that chair is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You wonder what keyboard he's using. Well, really? You want to know what keyboard I'm using? I am using a Razer keyboard that I love to hate because the volume rocker thingy on this keyboard, it's a Black Widow 3, is a piece of crap. Doesn't work. And look it up. Everybody has this problem. They go bad. And they're like, oh, you can do this. You can screw some grease in it and you can do this. Like, I don't want to do that with a $100 keyboard. I don't want to do that. So I never use that. I always use I basically programmed my mouse, the two keys right directly below the roller ball. I do that as my volume up and volume down. I've always done that since I got this mouse, even before the keyboard started having problems. So I really don't care about that thing. So, I mean, it'd be nice to be able to use the mute button when the wife says, shh, it's too loud. But I just click the down button a bunch of times and then it gets quieter. But anyway, I use that because I like, and it's a brown key. So it's a tactile, not a clicky, not a linear, but tactile. I like the tactile feel. But I certainly wouldn't recommend this damn thing. So actually Ronnie sent me a EVGA keyboard, linear, the same keyboard that my wife has. And that's a really nice keyboard. It has a nice feel to it. I like the feel of this keyboard. You know, and this also has like ABS keys, so everything's turning shiny on it. So I've thought about actually doing PK, like I forget what the other type of keys are, but Kirk Solar, you can smell the gamer sweat from DJ's chair from here. Yeah, it's kind of disgusting. It's, yeah, oh yeah, Sunflower Mama says it's rough. Yeah, that's an understatement. But anyway, it's probably like, I'm done with you all. Is gonna troll me like that. Geekball Traces, I want the floaty chairs from Wally. Let's see, bacon, eggs, and hash. Thanks, buddy. Oh, no problem. Oh, not James. Yeah, I need to get into custom mechanical keyboards. Yeah, Linus Tech Tips had a video on custom keyboards. I am fascinated by that, but yeah, I would probably go the route of easiest, like he was talking about, not going like so full out, like you're, lubing up every single key. Yeah, I go with the pre-lubed ones, but and yes, we were talking about keyboards, but yeah, that would be cool. Probably my next keyboard, I probably will go that route, just because I like things to last. So, Hivemapper just put out an update on Discord. Really? Alrighty. Well, I will check that out. Appreciate that update. Pat says, Corsair everything or nothing. I do like Corsair. But I've never been a huge fan of their keyboards. They're okay. My son and daughter both have Corsair keyboards. They really like them. I don't know. I like to find kind of the one-off things, the things that other people don't use. I don't like to order mainstream. That's probably part of the reason why I won't use an iPhone, just because I like to do something a little different. I use a Motorola, and I like the specific features that the Motorola has, and how much bang for the buck you get as far as specs go from the Motorola, typically. So at any rate, but yeah, this thing's like 2 years old. It's still wicked fast, and I got it for $400. It has 256 gig of memory, space, storage space, and has, I think it's 8 gigs of RAM. I know no, I don't think it's 12. I'm pretty sure it's 8, but still plenty of RAM to go around. All righty, let's see. If you guys have any questions, please put it in the chat and tag me on it. Bacon, eggs, and hash. I'm a Motorola guy too. I knew I liked you, bacon, eggs, and hash. I used to work for Motorola, so I've always kind of had a soft spot. I left on my own terms for Motorola. They didn't want me to leave, so still really like the company. Though it's a heck of a lot smaller than it used to be, that's for sure. But it's not really Motorola anymore. Now it is Lenovo. It's owned by Lenovo, but they use the name. I had a Motorola V330 once upon a time. Yeah, they let me tell you a little story. Story time with Max. So there was a guy named Bob Appleweiss. He was the leader. He wasn't named CEO, but I don't know, executive vice president. Basically, he was in charge of Motorola Cellular Subscriber Group. And then you had, I forget who the guy was that was head of Cellular Infrastructure Group, which is actually where I worked. Anyway, you have the Motorola Infrastructure Group that is making CDMA and their latest and greatest and trying to really make sure that that works really, really well. And it's still somewhat bleeding edge technology. But you have the Cellular Infrastructure Group really developing this. And then you have the Cellular Subscriber Group that all they're thinking about is, how can I make an analog phone smaller and smaller and smaller? Not even developing anything regarding CDMA. So there's a bunch of pieces to this story, but basically Chris Galvin, who was the previous CEO that had been CEO for years, he was the current CEO, and they were in a meeting with Bob Appleweiss, and he kept getting asked every time they met, when are we going to have a CDMA flip phone? When are we going to have a CDMA flip phone? And what was not well known was that Motorola had the opportunity to buy out, I was going to say Broadcom. It's not Broadcom. Anyway, the company that makes the CDMA chips, basically. And I can't think of it. Somebody's going to tell me what it is in the chat, I'm sure. Yes, they will. They'll figure it out. But anyway, he's like, well, don't you wish you would have bought out this particular company? And he's like, pack your bags, you're gone. And that was it. He was done. He was tired of getting sideswiped by Qualcomm. Thank you, Cherish. That was the name of the company that Motorola could have bought way back when in the 90s, and they didn't. Wah wah. Think about how much different a company that would be if they actually pulled the trigger on that, no matter how expensive it was. Because Qualcomm still exists and is flourishing, and Motorola not so much. They're back in their public safety communication days, and they've always done that really, really well with their Centricom systems and such. For anybody who is not into 911 systems, Motorola does a lot of those. But anyway, but yeah, he got fired. He got fired for saying it. So anyway, that's a little bit of Motorola history, or lore, as some other people would say, because maybe there's not 100% truth to it, but that is the story, the simple story that took place, or that they say took place. Alrighty, questions? Anyone? How is my CPU mining adventure going? It's going okay. Diro, last time I checked, was making somewhere around 70 cents a day on a 5950X. I have not undervolted my CPU yet. Didn't really have time to do it this weekend. I was thinking about doing this weekend. I'm pretty sure I won't have time to do it this coming weekend, but hopefully the weekend after that should have some time, and we'll probably get around to undervolting it. I will say, actually, somebody reached out to me today and asked me, would I buy at this point, would I buy a 4070 or a 4070 Ti? And I'm like, 4070 Ti, hands down, no question. It is more efficient and has higher hash rate than the 4070. So it's going to be profitable after the 4070 isn't. Let's just say things get bad. So yeah, I won't say I'm regretting the 4070 purchase. I'm glad I did it because I can compare it. I can say that this is why. You know, I've done the comparisons. I'm mining them both on the same rig and can compare the efficiencies and, you know, basically do an apples to apples comparison between the two. Probably should do a video on it, I'm sure. But yeah, I would definitely say the 4070 Ti. And so then along those same thoughts, well, then why not go with the 4090? And there's certainly the argument to be made for that, actually, because and you say, well, oh, was I gone for a second? Oh, all right. Sorry about that, guys. But if you can sell, say, 10 GPUs that are making 5 cents a day, but you can buy a 4090 that's making 60 cents a day, why wouldn't you do that? So it's certainly some of the thoughts I've had, being like, maybe I will buy a 4090 and sell some. What was that? I have not benchmarked, but we all know that when it comes to proof of useful work, although with that said, Mining King, I already did you a favor this weekend and again tonight. I don't want to hear that. Anyway, but I will say that it's interesting. I also have in the back of my mind, Jeffkey saying when he was asked, is it quality over quantity? And he said, no, it's quantity over quality. Really? So that has me thinking as well. But at the same time, it's like when you're actually doing proof of useful work, you're doing proof of useful work at full bore. So these things are going to pull serious power if you have them set up as proof of useful work rigs. So then is it better to have something with more VRAM and more efficiency. So I don't know, something that I'm kind of really over analyzing instead of pulling the trigger. I did do it with the 4070. I sold my 5700 XTs and I bought the 4070 Ti. The 4070 I just decided I was going to buy, and I may end up just moving that into my gaming computer instead, or my main computer. So all right, Gaming with Smokey Dan says, did you hear the stopping production on 4070s as not selling as well, plus have the 4060 Ti coming out, said until June, with the 16 gigabyte 4060 Ti set to come out in July. That's interesting, because yeah, a 16 gigabyte 4060 Ti is a little bit more interesting considering the feedback that has been coming from the market, saying 12 gigabytes is the bare minimum of what should be in a mid-tier GPU, because yeah, you can oversaturate if you're doing 4K gaming, you can easily use up all the VRAM with some of the latest games. So Retro Mike, I heard Max is the only person that has bought 4070s. Not true, because I know King bought 4070s. So I'm sure there's plenty of people that have bought them. Panda's here. Well, now it's time to end the stream if he's here. Hello, Red Panda. How are you? All right. Pat says, wait until the bloodbath of NVIDIA earnings on Wednesday after market close. All the AI dreamers about to get crushed, and Tesla. Let's see. What else did I miss? Yeah, you already mentioned that. Let's see if I missed anything else. Darrow, thanks for explaining it. I love mining it. Glad to hear it. Joker Meyer says, DJ Mines, you missed Max Voltage rant about your chair. No, he was here. Unless he went away and came back. Crypto Crack says Max needs a 4090. Nobody needs a 4090. But yeah, I would. Who wouldn't want one, right? So again, sorry, my stream died. Probably one of my nodes probably doing a benchmark would be my guess. Yeah. Oh, that's what you meant by benchmark. Got it. I'm sitting here thinking of benchmarking proof of useful work. Yes, one of my nodes probably was benchmarking. Waiting for the 10,000 series, otherwise FPGA and ASICs. Yeah, I like mining on GPUs. I know they will always have some value, and I just worry about going into ASICs. It's a huge investment. It's a huge single investment in a lot of cases. The sound is really loud unless you get one of the quieter ones. That's one of the reasons why I thought of maybe I might get a Jazz Miner, one of the new X16 ones, because they're really super efficient. They are profitable. Obviously they're not out yet, but they're coming supposedly very soon. Yeah, I don't know. And I like I said, I like being able to, oh, look at that, not as profitable. I'll just switch over to this algorithm. I'll just switch over to that algorithm. So I'm switching. Sometimes I'm on the main two that I'm switching between right now are Nexa and Radiant, but I have mined some Ironfish. I have mined some Dynex for quite a while. I mined Dynex. So yeah, and I mined some Ergo when I was triple mining with Caspa. So yeah, I don't know. All right, let me see if there were any comments down on the bottom that I missed. Yeah, I have thought about that. Again, we're talking about money, and I have to kind of see like what the break-even point is on that, because that's the one thing with doing CPU mining, is that it's not just buying one piece to go buy multiple of like GPUs to go on one motherboard. No, you're getting one CPU, unless of course you're going Epic or something like that, but doing one CPU on one motherboard. Now, you can use that motherboard to do other things, but yeah, just for the CPU point of view, yeah, it takes up some resources. So, let me see what else everybody had to say. Although we are getting up about an hour and 15 minutes. I'm surprised I actually went this long. Scale CPU when you scale GPU rigs. Don't try to do just CPU. That's exactly it. So right now, I have on my one GPU rig, I have 2 GPUs on it because I sold the 6 5700 XTs. So I still have all those slots that I could fill before I'd even have to buy my next motherboard. Plus, I have RevTechs that I could also use. So I have plenty of motherboards to use. No, I do not have a gold shell box or iPolos. I was not one of the lucky ones to be sent one to review, and I'm not complaining at all. But I looked into them when it became obvious that GPUs were not going to be doing as well. So I looked into it, and the profitability had dropped dramatically. And I'm kind of glad I'd waited, because it wasn't because they dropped. They dropped because of hash rate more than anything. So that's what kind of hurts. So Pat says, don't buy anything right now. Build cash. The best deals have yet to come. Only buy what you can afford to keep online regardless of profit. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's why I bought the 4070 basically from profits from the channel. So thanks to you all, especially the super chats. Those are what allowed me to buy that 4070. So I really, really do appreciate that. The 4070 Ti, that came from the proceeds of selling the 5700 XTs to Retro Mike Tech. So again, thank you to Retro Mike Tech for allowing that to happen. I hope you are enjoying all of those 5700 XTs. I think you are, because you basically had shown what you were mining and how you were profiting, and it seems like you're doing better than I was doing with those 5700 XTs. So kudos to you. Metro Mike Tech says, if you've got the cash, spend it, preferably on stuff I'm selling. Buy my box A6 Max. No, sorry. That's exactly my point. They get to a point where they're not profitable. The chance of them being profitable, maybe they might be profitable during the bull run, but how profitable are they really going to be with the amount of hash rate that has come online with new miners, with new ASIC miners? Yeah, it's kind of a hard sell. Now, it could look brilliant to say, okay, I'll buy this for $300 and it doesn't make anything right now. I lose money on it. But if this coin, 5 times, 10 times the value, and all of a sudden now it's profitable, hell, it may not even be about how profitable the coin is. It's about the fact that I can now resell this ASIC for 3 times the value of what I bought it for. But at that point, why not just put your money in the coin? Because the coin, the ASICs are probably going to go up at a slower rate than the actual coin will be. So that's my 2 cents. No pun intended. Coin, 2 cents. Get it? Anyway, whatever. Live off rice if you have to. Remain online. Increased yields. True, except here's the thing. I've always said this. Mine was most profitable. Sell it. And here's the thing. Not everybody has the discipline to do that. I get that. To me, it's fun. I enjoy coming home, sitting down at my computer, looking at my TradeCoder Ogre account, and seeing how much I can get. So I go in there and I don't just say market buy. I look to see where the price action was, and I set a price and I leave it for 2 hours, or I might even decide, you know what, I'm going to leave this for a couple days and see what happens. I've done that with a Meow coin, a really small Meow coin sale, just to see where, if it ever gets to that and spikes to that level. At any rate, but I don't know. I enjoy it. I just enjoy it. It's not making me a ton of money, but it is allowing me to get into what I want. Basically, I've got I don't know, about $500 worth of Bitcoin that I've developed over the last 2 months, 2 to 3 months, something like that. And it's all been through mining all the altcoins and then selling into Bitcoin. I have a little bit that I've sold into Litecoin as well, because I was doing Litecoin previously. But yeah, that's right now where I'm going with it. Because of some expenses, I haven't moved that into Flux as much as I'd like to move that into Flux. I do have some expenses coming up, so I want to make sure that I am a little bit more liquid, and I would consider Bitcoin a little bit more liquid than some of the other ones, because Bitcoin's less volatile. Obviously all of crypto is volatile, but Bitcoin is less volatile. Retro Mike Tech says, Red Panda Mining, stop telling people to mine SCP, damn it. Yeah, why do you keep taking his ideas? Integra Guy, Retro Mike Tech, moving my HS light. Anyway. Oh, geez, really? So now Pat's really come out and said, laughing my ass off, SCP, oh God, did you see that new YouTube video? I know I haven't. Anyway. Alrighty, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys all being here. It has now been almost an hour and a half. By the way, I appreciate your patience. I was a little bit late tonight just because of talking to my son and going down the rabbit hole. And then I was having some technical difficulties at the front of the stream. I needed to delete some recordings from EVMux and then refresh. I just didn't know that's what I needed to do. So it took me an extra 3 minutes or so to get that all straightened out. But again, I appreciate all of that. I think Sunflower Mom had a comment. What was your comment? Oh, she's like, big surprise on the technical difficulties. Anyway, you are welcome, Second TL. Alrighty, guys. Well, again, thank you guys all for being here. And you guys all have a great night. Oh, and hit the like on the way out. And if you are new here, which I didn't see really many people new here, but if you are new here and you like what you heard, please subscribe to the channel. It helps the algorithm a lot. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, have a good night.